The newest update comes with a ton of new content, and this video quickly covers everything you need to know about version 2.6 in Genshin Impact. Do you want more content in Genshin? Well, here you go. A new zone called the Chasm is coming with 2.6, and it's absolutely packed with new content. You'll be able to explore this new zone with a gadget called Lumenstone, which will illuminate the caverns of the chasm and allow you to collect special items that you can afterwards exchange for free rewards, which looks to be working about the same as the Sakura tree in Inazuma region. But besides the rewards, the chasm looks like a really interesting zone with its own set of mysteries, and from the looks of it, it seems to go pretty deep, so I hope we get to see some vertical exploration like in the Dragonspine Mountain. I also know that in a previous livestream, Ruined Serpent was showcased a little, and we can see more of it in action from the 2.6 trailer here, but it also seems like there's going to be some kind of a new menacing shadowy husk enemy that we saw for a few brief moments here. Finally, there's also going to be a new Archon quest, which features none other than Dainslev himself, so I'm really excited to see what this guy has to say after vanishing for a year since his latest appearance in 1.4 update. Chasm isn't the only major thing that's getting introduced in the newest update, because we're also getting a huge event that's going to be one of those festivals which will feature various popular 5-star characters, and we'll get phases of different activities like the tower defense, which will be making a return. But the best part about these minigames is a free Xingqiu, who is basically one of the best 4-star supports in the entire game, if you care about the meta, or just like to have an overpowered character. Moving over, a new event will feature a character from the Fontaine region, who is a researcher of vibro crystals, so in this event, you pick a team, activate up to 3 modifiers, which are supposedly the vibro crystals, and then head into the time trial to beat the enemies. It's not super innovative, but I am interested to learn more about the Fontaine region from this event. Now, on the lighter side of things, there's also going to be a few relaxing events like making some dishes for your Serenity Pod companions and taking selfies in front of various landmarks. Finally, during the livestream, it was also mentioned that Leyline Overflow event will be making a return, so you can get more materials for less resin. He's finally here, the guy that's been keeping Genshin hype train alive for more than a month, and boy, does he look awesome. So the first thing that really pops out about him is the elemental skill. It will infuse his normal attacks with hydro, and he will gain new combos to unleash on enemies, but the cool part is, he also leaves a watery illusion behind after activating the skill, which will expire after a certain amount of time, explode, and damage the surrounding targets. Also, during the skill's duration, Ayato can gain special stacks, which will charge up his powered up attacks and deal increased damage based on his maximum health. Now, when it comes to his burst, a massive hydro field will appear and damage everyone inside it constantly with raindrops, and from the looks of it, it's going to land a ton of hits and the radius of the field looks pretty huge as well. To me, it feels like Ganyu's burst, except it's hydro and delivers faster attacks. But what's interesting about his burst, or should I say the passive, is that he will regenerate energy when he's switched out, meaning, while you're busy using other teammates, he will silently keep charging up his burst. The other passive mentioned in the livestream had to do with those special stacks you can gain during his skill duration, which are going to be easier to obtain once his watery illusion explodes. Honestly, from the way I'm seeing things right now, it sounds like Ayato will potentially work as both main and sub damage dealer, and I hope this will be true so that anyone who wants to have more field time with him, well, they could do that, while others who just want to throw him into a team as a sub damage dealer support for that nice looking burst could also have this option. Oh, and just like every other new 5-star character, he will come with his own signature sword that you can obtain from the weapons banner, but with the limited info we have right now, it's best reserved to talk about this weapon once the update arrives. Speaking of banners, 2.6 is absolutely stacked with valuable and fun units. Now, it looks like Ayato and Venti are going to be showing up in the first phase of the update, but on the second phase, it's going to be only Ayaka by herself, and this is definitely an interesting choice made by Hoyoverse, seeing how there's a lot of interest for Ayato, which may overshadow Venti during the double banner period. Still, it's important to remember that Venti, unlike Ayato, is from Mondstadt region, where you can obtain his ascension materials pretty early in the game, so perhaps this choice was made to appease both the beginners and veterans of the game, seeing how getting Ayato below adventure rank 30 is going to be not the best experience when you need to get his ascension materials from Inazuma. But all in all, I think a lot of players were expecting to see Kazuha's rerun, but it seems like we'll have to wait a little longer, and at least some really powerful and fun characters like Venti and Ayaka are making a return, and in fact, this is Ayaka's first rerun, and I'm sure a lot of you are going to get her just because of how much initial hype she had on the first banner. So with everything that has been revealed so far, we're also getting 2 new artifact sets. The first one will provide 18% attack from its 2-set bonus, while the 4-piece will have this interesting ability to increase the user's attack after using the burst. However, this isn't the only way you can gain this buff, and in addition to this, you can also further increase attack by 10% up to 4 times after losing health, which, if I understand this correctly, the whole set combined with all active bonuses will provide a total of 66 additional attack. Still, it's important to note that you will lose the 4-set bonus if the character gets swapped out, but come on. It's pretty clear this is a tailor-made set for Xiao, and it will probably be his new best-in-slot option. However, it really depends how much better the overall damage increase is going to be compared to the usual 2 sets players have farmed up. But since there's always a lot of downtime in this game, it's probably going to be worth going after if you really want to optimize Xiao further. But if the first artifact set seems like a really niche option, the second one comes with a surprise. You can now gamble with your artifact set bonuses. Like seriously, some of us here are trying to escape the curse of substat rolls on defense and HP, but this new set is really something else. Basically, ignoring the 2-set bonus, which provides the boring 18% attack increase, the 4-set has 36% chance to increase the user's next normal attack damage by 70% off the user's attack. Also, if you fail to trigger this bonus, next time it will have a 20% additional chance of landing that powered up normal attack. So you could call this like a pity after you fail to trigger the artifact bonus with your normal attack several times. There's a lot to unpack here, and I'll talk about this more in a future video, but my biggest takeaway so far from this set is that 70% attack buff, because if I'm reading this right, it's going to work in the exact same way as Shenhe's and Yunjin's buff, meaning this is going to be a flat attack damage buff that benefits characters with lower damage multipliers in their normal attacks. So if we assume Ayato as a sword user has low multipliers, this will probably be a really good set for him, but just how good? Well, only once the update arrives, I can answer this question. It seems like we're also getting some quality of life updates for the game, like the new option to just hold on to a character's head icon to bring up the party menu on mobile devices, which is something that I wanted desperately for a long time when using my phone. Also, there's a few tweaks done here and there for the tutorial system, like easier navigation, and also, the enemies will now have a better organized info when viewing them from the archives menu. But overall, the 2.6 update will have a brand new zone called the Chasm, which you'll be able to explore using a special gadget and obtain a lot of free rewards such as prototype materials for free-to-play weapons, while at the same time, we're finally going to see Dainsleif once more, who will probably explain to us what's happening with the Chasm, and maybe shed some light about her sibling while we're busy participating in side events. Speaking of which, the new major event will feature an Inazuma festival where you can participate in lots of minigames, but the best part about it has to be a free Xingqiu you can obtain. Now, when looking at the upcoming banners, Ayato and Venti are going to be in the first phase, while the second phase will feature Ayaka's rerun, so this is probably the best time to start saving up primos if you want to pull for these characters. Finally, 2 new artifact sets are getting introduced with this update, one of which seems to be tailor-made for Xiao, while the other is designed for characters with normal attacks that have low damage multipliers. But that's basically it. Make sure to check out my pinned comment for free primogem codes, but do it quick, because they expire really fast, and if you haven't done already, I'd really appreciate if you could like and share this video. Thanks for watching, and see you soon.